While the average S&P 500 company lasted 67 years in 1958, today that number has collapsed to just 15 years. In 2020, the average company lifespan was only 21 years compared to 32 years in 1965. Here's the shocking part. McKinsey predicts that by 2027, 75% of companies currently in the S&P 500 will have disappeared through bankruptcy, merger, or acquisition. But here's what most business leaders miss. Only 52 companies have remained on the Fortune 500 list since 1955. That's less than 12% survival rate over 7 decades. By the end of this video, you'll have the exact 3 strategies these enduring companies use to survive and thrive for decades while their competitors vanish. This isn't theory. These are the proven frameworks that separate companies lasting 5 years from those lasting 50+ years. If you're building a business right now, the odds are stacked against you. Research from the Bank of Korea shows that Japan, home to over 50,000 companies founded more than 100 years ago, has a survival secret. But in the United States, only 70% of new businesses survive beyond their first 2 years, 50% make it to 5 years, and just 25% are still standing after 15 years. Here's why this matters to you. From 1965 to 2026, the average tenure of companies on the S&P 500 index narrowed from 33 years to a forecast of just 14 years. According to InnoSight's 2021 corporate longevity forecast, at the current churn rate, about half of today's S&P 500 firms will be replaced over the next 10 years. The cost of getting this wrong? For every company that fails, there are jobs lost, dreams shattered, and communities impacted. But the companies that master longevity don't just survive. They generate billions in value and transform entire industries. I've spent months analyzing research from McKinsey, InnoSight, and academic studies on corporate longevity to understand what separates companies like Procter Gamble, which has paid dividends for 135 consecutive years and has been in business for 187 years, from companies that barely make it a decade. The data reveals 3 distinct strategies. Companies like Toyota, which has been profitable for 55+ consecutive years, Procter & Gamble, which survived the Great Depression and multiple recessions, and IBM, which has remained on the Fortune 500 since 1955, all share these specific approaches. In the next few minutes, we're breaking down Strategy 1, the Adaptation Imperative, how companies evolve without losing their identity. Strategy 2, the Innovation Balance, managing risk while staying competitive. And Strategy 3, the Culture Foundation, embedding longevity into your organizational DNA. If you're building a business that you want to last, or climbing the corporate ladder, hit that subscribe button now. We decode Fortune 500 strategies like this every single week, giving you the executive playbook that most MBA programs never teach. Here's what 89% of Japan's century-old companies understand that most startups miss. Longevity isn't about refusing to change, it's about strategic adaptation while maintaining your core purpose. Let's look at Procter & Gamble. Founded in 1837 as a soap and candle maker, P&G recognized when electricity replaced candles, rather than fighting the change, they doubled down on consumer goods. In 2000, when traditional R&D stopped delivering growth, CEO A.G. Lafley shifted from an invented-ourselves approach to a connect-and-develop model, collaborating with suppliers, competitors, and scientists worldwide. The result? In 2025, Time magazine named P&G one of the world's most influential companies. Their steadiness strategy, strengthening core brands while adapting to market needs, has more than doubled their stock price over the past decade, pulling ahead of rival Unilever. Or, take Toyota. They started as an automatic loom manufacturer, pioneered exports to the West, then became an automotive business. They adapted their business model completely, but here's the key. They maintained their core philosophy of quality and continuous improvement. By 2013, they achieved the best sales and profits in automotive history, a record they broke again in 2014. How you implement this? First, identify your unchangeable core purpose. What fundamental value do you deliver to customers that transcends your current products? For P&G, it was improving daily life. For Toyota, it was reliable transportation solutions. Second, create what business researchers call a knowledge-building loop. Foster a culture where management admits they don't have all the answers. According to research from KPA Advisory, companies over 100 years old excel at knowledge-building proficiency, constantly learning and adapting to unpredicted events. Third, implement quarterly, strategic reviews. Ask, what are our customers' evolving needs? Not, how do we sell more of what we already make? The research is clear. Adaptability and curiosity are now the top priorities for the 2025 world's most admired companies when hiring for leadership roles, more important than experience or credentials. Companies that balance tradition with willingness to innovate create what studies call an economic engine that transforms relevance into sustainable growth. Here's the paradox that kills most companies. Too little innovation and you lose your competitive edge. Too much innovation and you spread yourself too thin and potentially lose to your competitors. Companies lasting decades master what I call steady innovation, using thorough database risk analysis as a core strategy where innovative measures are considered. The trick is to balance innovative ideas with the smooth running of the business at hand. Toyota exemplifies this perfectly. While competitors chased dramatic innovations, Toyota focused on Kaizen, continuous incremental improvement. Over 55+ years of profitability, they maintained one simple question at every level: how can we create more value with less waste? That relentless focus on steady, data-driven innovation rather than big, risky bets is why they survived when many competitors didn't. Procter & Gamble's approach was equally strategic. When CEO Lafley saw that internal R&D was delivering smaller payoffs for greater costs, he didn't slash innovation budgets. Instead, he transformed how P&G innovated, shifting to open innovation by partnering with external innovators worldwide. They now have over 300 brands, 23 of which generate over $1 billion each. Compare this to companies that vanished. They either refused to innovate at all, think Kodak missing the digital shift, or they over-innovated without proper foundations, burning through capital on unproven ideas. Quick question before we hit strategy 3. Are you currently balancing innovation and stability in your business, or leaning too heavily on one side? Drop your answer in the comments below. And if these Fortune 500 insights are helping you think differently about your business strategy, smash that like button. Your implementation framework. First, establish your innovation budget. Typically, 10 to 20% of revenue for established companies. Research shows companies with strong innovation cultures that balance creativity with data see 13% higher engagement levels and 33% greater business performance. Second, create innovation metrics beyond just new products launched. Track return on innovation investment, time from concept to market, percentage of revenue from products launched in last 3 years. Third, implement stage gate processes. Every innovative idea passes through defined gates with specific criteria before receiving additional investment. This prevents the shiny object syndrome that kills companies. Research from ELP Network reveals that average company lifespan has dropped from 67 years to just 14 years, with predictions that half of the S&P 500 could vanish in the next decade. The companies surviving this volatility don't innovate blindly. They innovate strategically, with clear metrics and data-driven decisions at every stage. Peter Drucker famously said, "Culture eats strategy for breakfast." But here's what the data actually shows. Companies lasting decades don't choose between culture and strategy. They make culture their competitive advantage. Procter & Gamble introduced profit sharing for all employees back in 1887. Yes, 138 years ago. Their founding belief was explicit. The interests of the company and its employees are inseparable. This was formally included in their Articles of Incorporation in 1919. That early pattern of connecting employees to business results has been refined continuously by aligning purpose, culture, and organizational methods to deliver superior consumer value. Here's a number that should shock you. In Brazil, 92% of respondents said learning opportunities are a reason they stay with their organization. Companies with strong coaching cultures report 13% higher engagement levels and 33% greater business performance than their competitors. Toyota and P&G share what researchers call a virtuous circle, relentlessly developing people capabilities so that innovation and operational excellence become self-sustaining. At both companies, every level of the organization lives the principle of go and see for yourself, connecting with customers personally to understand their needs and being willing to learn, change, or improve whatever is necessary to satisfy those needs. Look at Kowloon Motor Bus Company in Hong Kong, 104 years old in 2025. Fourth-generation heir William Lowy explains their longevity. From the beginning, KMB was a privately owned company offering public transportation without government subsidies, helping 2.8 million people move around Hong Kong affordably. They even established Friends of KMB, Hong Kong's first volunteer group organized by a public transport company. That's embedding social responsibility into company DNA from day one. Business leaders and entrepreneurs join our community for exactly these kinds of proven strategies. If you want to build a company that lasts decades, not just years, subscribe and hit that notification bell. We break down Fortune 500 frameworks every single week that you can implement immediately. Building your culture foundation. First, define your core values explicitly, and I mean values, not aspirations. Values are what you're willing to sacrifice for. P&G's value. Interests of company and employees are inseparable. What's yours? Second, implement leadership development at all levels. Research shows that learning agility and curiosity are now top priorities for admired companies. Don't just train managers, develop leaders who can adapt, innovate, and inspire. Third, establish social responsibility metrics. Companies over 100 years old understand that longevity requires serving stakeholders beyond just shareholders. Create measurable community impact goals and track them as rigorously as financial metrics. Fourth, flatten organizational structure where possible. Command and control structures are problematic for longevity. Flatter structures push down decision-making power, increase employee engagement and creativity, and allow faster adaptation to market changes. According to research on corporate longevity, successful firms earn at least their cost of capital over the long term by explicitly integrating their purpose with a culture that emphasizes knowledge building, innovation, fostering win-win relationships, and maintaining multi-decade resilience. Let's make this real. Here's your step-by-step action plan to implement these 3 strategies starting this week, not someday, this week. Days 1 to 3-0. Build your adaptation foundation. First, conduct what I call a core purpose audit. Schedule a 2-hour session with your leadership team. Ask, what fundamental value do we deliver that transcends our current products? Write it down. That's your North Star for all future adaptations. Second, establish your knowledge-building loop. Create a monthly What We Learned session where team members share market changes, customer feedback, or competitive insights. Make it psychological safe to admit what you don't know. Third, set up quarterly strategic reviews. Don't just review last quarter's numbers, analyze what are emerging customer needs we're not addressing, what assumptions about our business might be wrong. Days 31 to 60, implement innovation balance. First, calculate your current innovation spend as a percentage of revenue. If it's less than 10%, you're underinvesting. If it's over 25% without clear ROI metrics, you're overinvesting. Second, create your innovation stage gate process. Define 3 to 5 clear gates that every innovation project must pass through. Each gate should have specific data requirements and go no-go criteria. Third, establish innovation metrics. Track time from concept to market, percentage of revenue from products or services launched in the last 36 months, innovation ROI by project. Days 61 to 90, lay your culture foundation. First, explicitly articulate your core values, maximum 5, with concrete behaviors for each. Share these company-wide and integrate them into hiring, promotion, and performance review processes. Second, implement a learning and development program. Budget doesn't matter initially. Even sharing relevant articles weekly builds learning culture. Remember, 92% of employees in learning-focused organizations stay longer. Third, establish your social responsibility framework. Choose one community impact initiative that aligns with your core purpose. Measure and report on it quarterly, just like financial metrics. Your 12-month targets. By month 6, you should see measurable improvements in employee engagement scores and customer satisfaction. By month 12, track employee retention rates up 10 to 15%. Innovation pipeline with defined stage gate status for all projects. Documented core purpose guiding strategic decisions, and at least one measurable community impact initiative launched. Research from companies over 100 years old shows these aren't nice-to-haves, they're survival essentials. The average lifespan of an S&P 500 company dropped from 33 years in 1965 to a forecast of just 14 years by 2026. Companies implementing these 3 strategies are the ones that endure. Before you implement these strategies, Help other entrepreneurs and leaders discover these Fortune 500 insights. The frameworks we just covered: strategic adaptation while maintaining core purpose, balancing innovation with data-driven risk management, and building culture as competitive advantage. These are exactly what separate companies lasting 5 years from those lasting 50+ years. Hit like if these 3 longevity strategies gave you a clear action plan for building a business that lasts. Subscribe to the C-Suite Playbook for more Fortune 500 frameworks that actually work in today's market. And share this with any founder, entrepreneur, or business leader who's building something they want to last decades, not just years. Which of these 3 strategies, adaptation, innovation balance, or culture foundation, will you implement first in your business? Drop your answer in the comments below, and if you're already using one of these frameworks, share your results so other leaders can learn from your experience. Join entrepreneurs and executives who rely on these weekly breakdowns of Fortune 500 strategies.
This is the C-Suite Playbook, where Fortune 500 strategies meet actionable insights. Your competitive advantage starts here.